Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to part 32 of our Neil Robertson career mode on Snooker 19, and today we are playing in the third round, the last 32 stage of the Bet Victor Northern Ireland Open, of course the second of the Home Nation series in the 2019-20 season. But today we are playing against Mark King, another rematch which just is ridiculous. We haven't played a unique player for quite a while, but this is the first time we played Mark King since I think I've just looked, episode 7, when we played in the last 32 at the Portland Classic, which seems like an absolute age ago. I mean, it's all the way back, keep going, all the way back here now, and as you see, we've played a lot of snooker since then. So we've improved since then. Of course, we did beat Mark King to get through to play Kyron Wilson. Not sure what the scoreline was, I think it was 3-1 that I can remember. But again, we started this tournament very well. As you can see, we're on a good run at the moment. Finalist in the Oppos and semi-final in the Champion of Champions, knocked out by Judd Trump in the last 2 tournaments. But we have definitely come a long way since the likes of the Portland Classic. But we haven't lost a frame in the 2 matches so far. But Mark King's ranked 26th place, a little bit like Ken Doherty, not a player to be underestimated. And who knows, he could provide a bit of a shock today to the system. But it'd be certainly nice to get through to the last 16 again. It seems that we've just got a little bit better at the game now, and we can get through comfortably against lesser players, which is very nice and just takes a bit of pressure off. But I think it just allows us more than anything to play what we like in terms of snooker. I think it's been proven in many previous episodes, particularly in Deciders, where we've just gone to pieces a little bit. We've got it back to 2-2, gone to pieces, not played how we usually would, either played too safe or aggressive. And it doesn't work, but the shake takes place, the handshake, and it is ourselves to break in this first opening frame of the match. So, normal break, we don't tend to change the break up that much, that's because it's usually fairly effective. But even thinner than usual that was, so that didn't work out too badly. Probably a gap for this red, possibly. But I always think with these breaks, even if they get a red and a black, the chances are I don't think they'll be able to really gain on that. But a little bit more of a testing safety there from Mark King. Just right, we're gonna give it a hit and see what happens. But I don't think he leaves anything on here. So he's still not done badly out of that. No, I don't think he does. So, fair play to him. No, nothing on here, is there? No. Because that one red just covers pretty much the entirety of the pocket. So it's going to have to be a safety, and unfortunately I don't really fancy playing a safety which is nice and thin, so it's going to have to be a little bit thicker. Just to get us back up the table. But that wasn't too bad, to be fair. I think we will leave a red now, but actually that hit on the yellow, has it helped or not? Well, he can get to this bottom red now.
Well, it goes.
Yeah, we can get there, so not the best safety from the start, but a nice soft shot from Mark King, and that should be, well, it's not, goodness me, should have been the first pot of the match, but it wasn't. But a nice soft pot from us, and now we're on the black. But very peculiar, it has to be said about Mark King there. Just played that soft, yet couldn't get it into the pocket. And I said about these thin breaks that the player, whoever gets the decency of the break-off's not going to do anything, because as proven here, there's absolutely no position really for anything. So I think we're just going to play into the pack. As long as it gets there. Yep, just a very nice tap on that. And no chance for a pot from anywhere. So he's going to put it up to bulk. Again, more chance of making a mistake. So I'm glad that he did that and not me. But again, another decent safety. Couldn't really leave much on there, to be honest, because of just where the balls are situated. But bit of a slow start. Luckily not hitting that middle knuckle to put him in a much better position. But not too bad there. Just a bit of contact with the yellow. As you can see, the balls are all spread out a little bit, but not necessarily enough. But there is another red on here. Will he pot this long red this time? He will, good pot. But again, the black's not on, nor is the pink. It's going to be the long blue. And that's way off, you could see that already. It's a little bit of a sketchy start here from Mark King, but again, not leaving much on. We're going to have a go at this red.
He's looking to pop this into the right corner.
That's a nice pot. But we've made the same mistake, possibly even worse so, than Mark. So let's just consider this. We always go too hasty into making our decisions, and unfortunately we can't see how the ball will play before we do it. So I'm going to pick the green, and hopefully try and get possibly a bit of a swerve on it. We're not that far off, as you can see. I mean, we could just go for the just hit it off the cushion, couldn't we? Ah, there we go. We can hit the green. We need to be exactly this percentage. 1% off, and that makes all the difference. Amazing, really. Really amazing. How, you know, we were fairly close there. Very close, in fact. And no, I didn't think we hit anything there. We didn't hit the red on the way through, did we? I don't think we did. But I think the red would have put it a lot more off course, so I doubt we hit the red. But once again, very bizarre start here because just nothing on, and we're going to play a bit of a shot to nothing here. I don't think this red goes, but we might as well have a go at it. No, it's not gone, but a nice safety, back up the table. Hopefully it gets this green. But yeah, it's not too bad. It certainly leaves a pot on, but again, it's a little bit of a tricky one.
Safety here, I think.
No, just another safety, and a very bizarre start here, it has to be said. Very weird start, but that ball that Mark King has moved is certainly up for a pot. I'm just going to have to whack this to get it out of here, really.
This is no gimme.
Good pot. Moves the black, which certainly helps us out, but where is this black going? It's not going to be that hard that it gets the pocket. It, in fact, opens itself up for a nice straight pot, which we'll definitely take. Good stuff.
8.
Now, you might say we could have been able to do more with that, perhaps, but this isn't the easiest of pots, admittedly.
He's tempted by this red.
And it's there, though. Good pot. But once again, we've got ourselves trapped a little bit.
9.
But luckily we don't have an electable this time, because we're not quite snookered, but brown it is, provides a little bit of safety as well if we don't quite get to the pot. Tighter angle than we perhaps realised, but have we judged it? Looks pretty good to me. Oh, that's gutting. It's pretty much there, but just hit that one jaw of the pocket, and, well, it didn't quite go to plan. But a very cagey affair at the start of this frame. Certainly not easy, but an interesting shot there from Mark King. Which went for hope more than anything, I think, to be honest. So we are going to try and make a pot out of this. Quite dangerous, though, if it misses. But that looks fairly good to me. Good pot. But unfortunately, because that brown's there, can't play a swerve on this brown, I don't think. We like a good swerve shot, don't we? Well, we could play direct on that black, but again, it's not one I particularly fancy. So I think it might be the green. And it acts as a little bit of a safety. I'm aware it doesn't really, because it does leave a red or two on. But we're just going to have to give this a go. Looks fairly good again. Oh, we're just a little bit off. And oh, goodness me. Well, we did get the pot. He did go in, but we didn't see it because we knocked the brown in as well. Don't know how that happened. I think we must have had a collision with the blue, which sent us towards the brown. And not the best start from us here. 8 of the points from Mark King out of the 10 he scored, or 17 now, have come from fouls from us. So, certainly not the cleanest of starts whatsoever, but a good red there. And this could open the game up a little bit now. And to be fair, there's only 7 reds left. Can't quite believe that 8 and now 9 have been potted, really. And that's a strange blue. That's quite a bit off. I think they ought to probably make long pots a bit harder, to be honest, because it's clear that the AI seem to muck them up quite a bit. So it'd be quite realistic if the player did as well. It is just a little bit too easy to get to a long pot at the moment, in my view anyway. If it's straight, that's understandable, but there are a lot of long pots that I play that aren't straight, and I wouldn't say are easy, but are certainly not a massive challenge. But now that Mark King bottled that blue off it, was it a blue? I think it was, yeah. We now have a certainly decent chance to get back into this. Not quite on the black because of the collision there, but at least it moves that red. And there's always a pink we can go for anyway.
Lining this one up to the middle pocket.
Looks good to me. And it's there without much of an issue. 2 shots we can play here. We'll play this one so we can get hopefully somewhere near the black. And to lean across the table there. But a good shot to get ourselves on the black.
This looks pretty simple.
Well, Folds thinks it's a simple shot, and that wasn't bad at all. I think what the experience gives us on this game is a little bit of finesse around the black, and I think we've shown that in the last few episodes, and that certainly helps to build up a good break. A little bit hard perhaps there, but again we're fine. Just the 2 reds left after this one.
24.
So it might well be the pink we play here for a positional shot. Possibly. Want to make sure this pink actually gets to the pocket. Hopefully back off the cushion and nicely for the red. Not brilliant. It's cuttable though. Not the easiest of shots though, as I was saying. No, quite a bit off there. Not a fan of those shots really, but we had to play it. Couldn't really play too much for safety there. And this gives Mark King a decent chance to get back into this first frame. That's a solid red. This red on the cushion is going to be a little bit of an issue. But the black providing no such issue. But that's a really nice position. Just provides as straight a pot as remotely possible, really, given where that black was. But what on earth has he played there? If he's tried the snooker, fair play. But no, I'm not sure what he's played there at all. Very odd. Probably a little bit hasty there, trying to go for a double or even a treble, but that's not bad. Right on the cushion, so gives a little bit of a tighter angle for him. Should he go for the pot? Very odd that he didn't go for the pot on the red before, it has to be said. You know, I think he could have really cleaned up, to be quite honest. But we're going to go for a little bit of a safety now. Try and just shift the red. And this could be a snooker. Can you see it? Just about, it looks like. Oh, it's going to be very tight with the green, but goodness me, he gets there. But then, he's just mucked it up for himself. He'll be gutted about that. Very strange choice of shot. Just to tap it in, and surely he must have known that there was a chance that could have happened, that he could have left a straight pot on. But now onto the colours. We're going to take the yellow. That's a nice shot. Again, leaves on the yellow again, which is definitely potable into the middle. This green might provide a little bit of a challenge, but if we just knock this blue, to be fair, we just need to worry about the black, the yellow for the moment. That's not too bad. Again, there's not really a pot there, but ah well. Just try and screw back and get this, in effect, the opposite part to the table. But of course, it's just going to come straight back up, isn't it? We might get away with it here. Oh, that needs to pull up though. It's definitely possible this is now.
Robertson.
Bit of a hasty shot from us, a little bit of a lack of safety, I'd argue. But based on how Mark's played so far, I wouldn't be saying it's a guarantee that he's going to clear these balls up.
7.
But he looks in pretty good position, you have to say. If it comes down to the last 2 balls, you have to back him, but goodness me. That was a bit poor, wasn't it? I know safety should probably be the priority here, but we're going to go for a pot anyway. Let's just move this about, because when we usually go for this, it's usually way too short on the left. But that looks pretty good to me. Ooh, just off. Need the pink to save us here. I don't think it quite has. Blue's potable, and that could be the frame lost to Mark.
Of not overhitting this.
But he's just going for a bit of a snooker almost there. So we're just going to play this up behind the blue. Hopefully we've got to it. Oh, for goodness sake. We do that all the time. I don't know why and how we do that. Seems silly to me. But somehow we managed to do it. Going to play this very thin, try and pot it.
It looks like he's trying to get the cue ball tight on the cushion here.
And there we go. Good pot, but unfortunately the pink's
Okay, I think.
in no man's land, to be honest. What's the point situation like? Oh, we're 13 ahead, so Mark can only force a respot, really.
Who will make the first mistake?
Trying to get this on the opposite cushion. Yeah, it's certainly not, unless he goes for a double, which is certainly conceivable from that sort of position with both the balls.
He really doesn't.
Let's see what he goes for. That angle doesn't suggest a double to me. Possibly tried to get the snooker there.
That's an excellent safety.
Plays down the table, obviously we're nowhere near the pot really. And Mark King can get this, but I think in the case of a respot we'd be fine.
He's taking it on.
Does he take it on? His long pot success hasn't been great so far, but he's got the pink. And again, it's been a little bit scrappy from us here, and we've not really made the best decision. So Mark King does force a respot, and it's Mark to take it first. Could get this straight off the bat, who knows? He's going for it straight away. Oh, and he's missed it. He could get away with it, to be fair, because of how the ball was, in terms of the cue ball. But our aim is just to play that nice and thin there, and tighten the cushion. But a very scrappy first frame, certainly no big breaks. Well, he's going to try and get like a double on this. Oh, we can't quite get there. Is this tight to the cushion though? It's potable. I'm not the biggest fan of these, but you have to say in this sort of situation, we've got to go for it. And it's there.
No problem there.
Good stuff, and possibly a little bit undeserving. We played poor there. Definitely need to improve for the next frame, but for a respot, we've taken the first frame. And now it's Mark King to break.
So, a one-frame advantage. He'll be looking to build more pressure on his opponent in this frame.
Thank you. The second frame. Mark King to break.
Bit unfortunate that there's all the AI seem to play the sort of same break shot. To be fair though, hang on, he's had a really good break here. All we can do really is break open the pack. And we're going to have to risk that, to be honest, because we can't play safe really here. Has to be said.
He's looking to get the cue ball safe and tight to the cushion here.
In fact, is this just a stupid shot? I mean, if we play just up to these balls, yes, it's probably quite likely that the red is potable. That's a little bit away from the pack. Yeah, there is a pot on there, but it limits the damage. To be fair, he'd done very well to get out of that. But what's he playing here? Bewildering. Possibly trying to get another snooker on again, I'm not sure.
He'll be aware how important pace is for this shot.
Luckily, a little bit of an easier shot to judge this one. And that's no problem there. Doesn't get a snooker or anything like that, but again, these shots are absolutely fine. Oh, just tap that red. And again, a very cagey start, but now I think we've got a pot on this red. You could say, oh, why aren't you going for the other red? Well, there's always a danger, and plus, if there's any chance to break open the pack, I'll certainly try and take that, and that's decent. Certainly 3 or 4 reds put into play now. Unfortunately, that bottom right pocket's out of order, for a colour anyway, but it doesn't matter too much, because we can use one of these bulk colours. And the brown is pretty good there, and therefore we can get rid of this red by the bottom pocket.
5.
Black a little bit out of commission, which is unfortunate. Play some top and hopefully get round.
That split is not bad at all.
Well, break open a few reds if we want to, and in fact, probably needed a little bit more, but we might be okay on the black. No, we needed a little bit more, I think. No, we needed a little bit more, so a little bit unfortunate, but the pink certainly
He's going for the left centre here.
not bad damage limitation. And that's a nice pot. And again, we've got a lot of reds on here, so I think if we focus and just get this right, we could be in with a chance of winning this frame in this visit.
He fancies this red. Fabulous pot.
Great positional shot. He'll be happy with that.
Gonna be the yellow here. We could go for the blue, but again, too dangerous, I think.
Well, he's taking it on to the left corner.
It's funny, isn't it, when we're playing just normally with this percentage bar, funnily enough, we usually hit exactly the percentage we want, but if we're playing tight shots, maybe it's a pressure thing, I'm not quite sure.
He's aiming for the left corner here.
But a solid shot.
He's playing
Again, the
very
black
well
and probably
here.
the pink out of commission here.
16.
So green it is.
This is no gimme.
Good pot. This will travel quite a bit. Hopefully pull up fairly soon. Looking for that red by the middle pocket.
19.
That'll do. Just bounce off there, and the brown or the blue will certainly do. And we've got to be careful here. Want to get, ideally, sort of where the brown is a little bit behind it, so that's why we're trying to apply a little bit of screw back, but not that much. I mean, that should be fairly good. Yeah, it's bang on. Perfect.
This should be pretty straightforward.
If you say so, folds.
25.
I think the yellow probably blocks the way through for the blue, so it's going to have to be a bit of a tighter brown than we'd have probably wanted to play. Hopefully it all goes right. Solid stuff.
Outstanding potting.
And if we get this on the cushion,
Positional play there.
it's a nice straight pot.
29.
Admittedly, wasn't really going for that, but sometimes you just get lucky. It's one of them. Shouldn't be any problems here.
30.
And luckily the blue's on. Don't need anything too hard, and equally we don't want the ball to travel too far up that end. But it does anyway. But this red that's fair amount away, this one, it's certainly cuttable, isn't it? It's not the easiest, but it's certainly doable. That's why I have a little bit of power, unfortunately. A little bit reluctantly as well. But we're going to have to. We've not really got much choice. But it's there. What a pot. And to be fair, we didn't need the power because we didn't hit anything.
36.
But equally, that meant we got half decent position. And that one could probably be pivotal for the rest of the frame. Puts us in a much better position than we would have been in.
Right up his street.
Ooh, that blue wasn't clear cut.
Superb cueing.
Need this to probably pull up a little bit.
41.
Yeah, that red should be fine. And through moving a few reds about, that's should be the first opportunity for a black this frame.
42.
And it's there.
Careless
Don't really leave optimum position now, admittedly, but yeah, it doesn't, does it? In fact, I don't think this is makeable. No. Well, sometimes you just get things wrong, don't you? And there's nothing wrong with that.
You won't want to overhit this.
Just play it up to this red.
Neil Robertson, 49.
Solid break there, not quite a 50 break. But again, nice and solid. Have to play so someone's touching ball here.
Well, this is building up to be a really interesting test of their safety skills.
This safety would be a test of his skills.
He'll be playing safe here. He doesn't want to play this with too much pace.
Well, he's tried to get out of there. And he's not done too badly to get out of there, to be fair to him.
Pace is critical.
That's to be quite a thick safety, unfortunately. And hopefully we can get this back up to bulk. Doesn't look too good to me. But I suppose 49 ahead's a long way to come back from. He's got to put all these reds with blacks and then bring it down to the colours, of course.
He's playing for the right.
But we'll see how he gets on. Again, provides a little bit of excitement to the frame. But only a yellow, that won't help his scoring.
3.
But sometimes positions a little bit more expensive, if you like, to get than the pot. But you can deal with a cheap pot.
11.
But the position is always worth a lot more. But he's playing pretty well here, not surprisingly.
19.
Just 2 reds left. After this one.
27.
And here comes the penultimate red. Oh, and he's missed it into the middle. I thought it'd be a bit tight.
27.
But yep, he's missed that one into the middle. And we're now going to try that shot. Again, might say, well, it's a little bit aggressive, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Especially if it goes, and that's perfect.
He'll be happy with that. Top shot.
So pink's probably the best shot here
1.
for us.
He's looking at the pot into the left centre.
Nice pot. Not brilliantly on this red, but again, at least it's in
7.
a nice distance with it. Just going to try and go for the long pot on this. It's not going to hurt. We've got plenty of room for manoeuvre, but this red will do us for the frame if we can get it. Certainly won't be too far away. We've cleared the yellow, but not quite there.
No, not this time.
But luckily, we're no, he will pot this, so it will go down to the colours, I can imagine. Oh, no, he's missed it.
Oh, so close.
So through Mark King's little bit of incompetency there, really, you could argue, we've been awarded the second frame.
No issues there.
And that effectively shuts out his opponent in this frame.
1.
We'll go for the brown.
What a beautiful
And it's
pot
there.
that is.
We don't pot the cue ball. And then I think we'll pot the yellow, and then we can afford to just leave the ball anywhere, as long as we don't snooker ourselves. Then just play up to the green and see whether Mark King will presumably
What a great shot that is.
call it a
7.
defeat in the frame. No point playing longer than possible. We just want to get on to the next frame. And I presume needing 11 more points than's on the table, therefore needing a fair few snookers, that Mark King would concede, and there we go. That's the second frame to us. And possibly, I don't want to say things too early because I'm a classic for doing that,
Row now.
but there might well be an opportunity here to go 9 frames without anything coming back to us. We'll probably leave a red on again, but again, it's almost like damage limitation. Probably need the brakes a little bit harder, get it exactly up to bulk. But a good pot.
1.
Is he going to go open things up now?
8.
Oh, he's missed the red already.
8.
I'm just going to touch this red. If it makes it... Oh, we've not done this again, have we? Oh, we have as well.
Really annoyed with that foul. Lack of composure, perhaps.
We try and be too delicate, and that's our problem sometimes. We waste points by giving away silly fouls like that.
Very important here.
He's not going to play this aggressive, is he? Ooh, I mean, that was a... Ooh! Blimey. That was close.
He'll want to get this cue ball close to the cushion.
Just play this soft, and then that should go back up to bulk. Don't hit the brown, ideally. That's pretty good. Bang on the bulk cushion.
Not an easy one, but a half chance.
Looks like he's played that too soft, yeah. He's never really going to get there, that wasn't. And because you're never sure how those pots will go, if you give them a tap and how the contact will affect them, it's always worth going for a little bit of a more clear-cut shot like that one we've just played. Okay, it doesn't open up the big colours, but it doesn't need to.
I know what a prolific long potter he is, so I'd assume he'd take this on.
Black might not have gone in, you know.
Great cue.
To be fair, we were quite lucky there, really. Needs a fair distance just to bring it back off the cushion. Wasn't quite sure how it would have reacted there, so I played that a little bit harder than probably needed to be. Black wouldn't have been on anyway, I don't think, because of how the reds are situated. I think it's fairly hard, though, to come back down the table.
Not the best positional shot.
No, not the best. Fair enough, yes. Don't think there's any leeway for this red, no. So, nothing doing here, unfortunately. Much ado about nothing. But a thin safety on this red certainly won't be too bad, I don't think. As long as it gets up to bulk. Ideally miss the green, but we're going to hit that pretty much full ball. And gives a little bit of an angle on this edge red, but not much of one.
He's taking this red on.
He's taking it on. He might well get it. Yeah, and he does. I'm not too surprised by that. But then again, what these players always do, and what we did at the start of this game, to be fair, in terms of when we just first started the career mode, is we'd play a soft red and then, oh, we've got nowhere to go. I think our positional games proves a lot, but where's this cue ball? Oh, he's got away with that one. Unfortunately, though, for him, he's not got away with not leaving a pot on.
Pace is the key with this shot.
But very fortunate there not to pot the cue ball. Good pot. Taps a few of the balls. That will certainly help. It'll probably have to be the blue, unfortunately. The black's, again, a little bit precarious there. It certainly gives us something to go for in hitting these reds.
Power.
Yeah, no problems with that. That's quite nice. A little bit unlucky, you could say, possibly, not getting position. But we like to play a fancy pot from time to time, so we'll try this. No, it's way off. But again, we always provide some sort of cover. I mean, it didn't really there, because we just hit the yellow, which is a little bit unfortunate.
He's aiming for the left corner.
And again, gives Mark King a little bit of a chance. Being a little bit complacent here, I would argue. You know, we're playing safeties and playing risky pots, and if Mark King played as well as he could do, there's a serious chance he could clear up from here. It sounds ridiculous, but it's certainly an option. But he's playing conservative here, as you can see, not fancying that black yet, just because of where it is on the cushion, but a good red again. Certainly won't go for it this time. It's going to have to be the pink, yeah. And he's just missed that, but to be fair, doesn't leave anything on, so he's got away with that. Actually, hang on a bit. Ooh, that red might well go to the middle. I know we've been moaned at for being complacent, but I think if we put this into the middle, there we go, we've moved a few of the reds round, which is ideal. Great stuff. So blue again. Position not a massive one here because of the reds, to be fair, being quite nicely placed now. But we'll keep it in and around the same sort of area. And that's a nice shot. Mark King ahead though in this frame, it's important to point out.
7.
Pink it is then, here. Oops. Oh, there we go. Solid shot. Hopefully don't get snookered behind a colour. Should be fine though here.
13.
I might well give you the impression it's just I play a sort of play as you go vibe and don't really plan too much. And I suppose 50% of that's true.
That's great cue ball control.
But there's always some sort of plan going on up in my head, even though if it might not come off, or whether it's a slight plan. You know, I obviously know not to. Well, basically what I'm saying is I've always got a rough plan for what shots I want to play.
Lining this one up to the middle pocket.
But there's no good just having the one plan, because if that doesn't come off, for example, if I wanted to play for this red by the pink, which is probably the shot I'm going to play, if, you know, this pulled up too short and it was too close to the pink, well, we'd have had to go for this shot, and if we hadn't played for that shot, then we would never have got it. So it's always worth giving yourself options, that's what I think I'm trying to say. But that shot absolutely fine, always needs to pull up, but to be fair, once again, we've got the option of the black, which admittedly is more down to luck than anything. Need to be careful though here.
That's a poor shot.
No.
Really poor shot.
I said be careful. And that black, it was one that neither of us really wanted to play. You could tell that we were a little bit precarious over it. And he's missed this red. Oh, the jammy git, and he's... Oh, nearly potted the cue ball, but not quite. Goodness me, that was close.
3.
But I didn't think that red was going in. It was going straight for the jaw. But sometimes it makes good contact with the jaw, which just puts it in. But the black, amazingly down to the last red once again. Ooh, that position's unfortunate if he's going for a pot. Looks like he's going for a safety. Not got the snooker. So we might as well go for a little bit of a half chance here, but get it back up the table if not. Ooh, a little bit off there, but hopefully this is covered. It's not really. Probably the only place we didn't want that red. It was blue side, really. We didn't want that. And he's got the pot. And to be honest, I think with how we've played, we've not played our best. Been a little bit complacent. I think that probably Mark King deserves a frame. So he's 8 ahead with 27 left on the table. That could be a solid pot. It's very close. Oh, but he just missed it. That's unfortunate for Mark, that is.
But not quite.
Really is.
Mark King 8.
This looks relatively straightforward.
Speak for yourself, Hendon. You've never picked up a snooker cue. Never mind, straightforward.
I'd say it's perfect.
Yeah, that position's pants. I'll give Hendon that one. He knows what he's talking about there.
You won't want to underhit this shot.
Go for the double! Hee hee!
Wow.
Sometimes they come off and it's brilliant. But we're not going to go for 2 in a row. That would be madness. Plus, very cocky. But a nice double there.
Great position.
And he's 3 ahead. He's probably just going to play the layup, I would guess, to this brown. Oh, no, he's not. Interesting. Ooh. That's a much better shot than people might realise, that is. Needed a very thin cut, which is exactly what we've played there. But with it being that close to the pocket, we couldn't have really gone for a pot because it was tight to the cushion. And if we'd have gone to the right-hand side and been too thick, we'd have gone straight into the pocket. So, credit to Mark King. That's a much better shot than possibly it might seem. Oh, that was very close to the pot. Has he left it on? He has as well, I think. Oh, it's going to be tight. I don't think he has, though, to be fair. We're just going to have to play a bit of a swerve shot here. And hopefully the swerve works. I need to just hit this nice and hard. And that's a lovely pot. Cracker.
Fortunate there.
Those are too hard. Those are too easy, I would say. Not too hard. Those are too easy, I would say, I think. They shouldn't be that easy to play.
Well, no surprises here with the...
That's an incredibly challenging shot. But that blue's fair enough, because that was fairly straight. But I think from that good brown, I think we should be fine here. And with the pink, we'll beat Mark King 3 frames to 0. Good pots, and just the black to go.
That should effectively remove any
This is a little bit reminiscent of the Ryan Day match in the Champion of Champions, really. Didn't play our best, but come out of it victors. And that was, for the 3rd time in this tournament, even though we've only seen 2 on the channel,
That's the match.
not the simplest, actually, to be fair. Not as simple as the Doherty match, and I think it'll be a lot closer in terms of the points. Okay, maybe 133 to 2 sort of ratio. But nonetheless, we've got the win, and we're through to the last 16 of the Northern Ireland Open. So who are we going to play in the last 16? Big stages, really, now. It's where the big players start to come in. Is it going to be someone we've never played before? If it's Lazowski or Kyron Wilson, I'm going to be annoyed. Oh, my God. That's proper nasty. Last 16 stage, John Higgins again. For the 3rd tournament in a row. We played him in the Oppos, beat him in the semi-final. We played him in the Champion of Champions, beat him in the quarters. And again, we meet with the Wizard of Wishaw. Goodness me. I mean, it could have been anybody else. Really, the last 16 suggests probably the top 25 at most that could play. So, even the top 20. So, we've got Ali, Joe Perry, Gilbert, Brissell, Maguire, Bingham, Murphy, Ding, Bazza, Mark, both Marks, and Ronnie and Selby, who we've not played. Yet we've had, out of that list, 3 meetings with John. Probably 3 meetings with bloody Judd Tramp if we win this game against John. And 1 meeting against Kyron Wilson. So very bizarre how that works. But we have to face him again in the last 16. It is the last 16, isn't it? Yeah, because we didn't, just check, we didn't have to qualify for this one. No, we definitely didn't. It wasn't that early on. So that means that, yeah, we're playing John Higgins in the last 16. A very big match to take part in the last 16. That's going to be a big player out of it. But a challenge I'll relish once again. So we're going to have to definitely be on our top game on Tuesday. So, thank you very much for watching, folks. A reminder, as we go into next week, that my exams start again. But I will be putting this series out on a regular basis, fingers crossed now, once every 2 days until my exams finish on the 12th. But if there isn't a video for a few days, I hope that my exams explain the situation. And that I'll probably explain the situation if there's any videos that are missed. But hopefully we should be fine. But if there is that situation, I apologise for that in advance. But thank you very much for your company today. I've been CIJ Gaming, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye for now.